Hi, and welcome back to our course on risk management. In this module, we'll learn about the tools and techniques used in the plan risk responses process. The tools and techniques for the plan risk responses process fall into the following 4 categories. Creativity tools that are used to identify potential responses. Decision support tools that are used to select the most appropriate potential response. Strategy implementation tools that are used to transform strategy into actions and integrate them into plans. Transition tools that are used to transfer control to the monitor and control risk process. The first technique we'll consider is response identification. To identify the appropriate set of responses, the subject matter experts must explore all the available responses and use project planning and execution techniques to assess the potential effects of the responses on the project objectives. Next is the response selection technique. Decision support tools are used to select the most appropriate potential responses from the available potential responses. During response selection, the cost and impact of the responses, uncertainty of the outcomes, and scope of secondary and residual risks are given due importance. The updated project management plan and residual and secondary risks are subjected to the activities of the identify risks, perform quantitative risk analysis, and plan risk responses processes. An iterative approach is continued until all the individual risks are at desired levels and the overall project risk is within acceptable limits. Let's move on to the action planning technique. Strategy implementation tools are used to transform the selected strategies into actions and integrate them into project plans. The next technique is ownership and responsibility assignment. Resource assignment processes are used to ensure that there is an owner for every risk and an owner for every response action. The risk owners must evaluate the response actions, determine if additional actions are required, and keep the project manager updated. The risk action owners must perform required actions, monitor them, and keep the risk owners updated. This ensures that there's a set of trigger conditions that enable appropriate risk monitoring. The risk monitoring responsibilities must be assigned in the plan risk responses process and must be managed in the monitor and control risk process. And that wraps up Chapter 8, Module 3. Our next session takes a look at documenting the plan risk responses process. Until then, thank you for learning with us.